Hey guys, this is Scott from Forgot to Grow Up Podcast. Welcome to our Ready Player One review. I'm just going to give you guys a quick little breakdown of what the movie's about and then let you know my personal thoughts about it. Alright guys, so today's video is going to include me talking about the main characters, a little plot intro, the audience and critic ratings to it, my personal ratings, what I liked and disliked, my favorite part, and then finally my recommendation. Alright guys, so we'll just get started right now, alright? So Ready Player One's main characters are Percival, aka Wade Watts, played by Ty Sheridan. Then we have Artemis, aka Samantha, played by Olivia Cook, the love interest of the main character Wade Watts. And then we also have the evil villain Sorrento, played by Ben Mendelsohn. Of course, he's a villain again. And then we have James Halliday, the inventor of the Oasis, played by Mark Rylance. And so the setting of Ready Player One is Columbus, Ohio is the real world setting where most of this takes place. It's where Wade Watts' character lives in a trailer park type thing called the Stacks. But most of the movie, or a good chunk of the movie, takes place in the Oasis, which I mentioned before, which is a virtual reality world where you can be whoever or whatever you want with certain limitations, but it's full of pop culture and Easter egg references. And it's just awesome, and that's where most people spend their days and their lives in the year 2045. So Ready Player One, it's the year 2045 and the world sucks. But there's one escape from the real world, and that's the Oasis, an immersive virtual reality world where most of the world spends most of their time, to be honest. It's where they all escape to get to, and it's because it's awesome. In the Oasis, you can go anywhere. You can be anyone, anything you want. You can be any pop culture or Easter egg reference you can think of. That kind of is the same thing. I don't know why I chose to say both of them. Anyways, the only limitations in the Oasis is your own imagination and some rules that seem to kind of play into it, but are kind of unclear. It's hard to say. There are some rules. Anyways, the Oasis was built by a Steve Jobs-esque inventor, James Halliday, who I mentioned before, who upon his death left his immense fortune and controlling shares of the Oasis to the winner of a three-part contest that he designed. So 5 years after Halliday's death is when this movie's taking place, and Wade Watts, the main character, is the first person to beat the first challenge of the contest. And so he and his friends are thrust into a quest and a challenge to win the contest and save the Oasis before the evil corporate overlords can beat them to it and turn the Oasis into this crazy, just clickbait, advertising-filled, profit-driven place, which just why Ben Mendelsohn do you want that? He's the bad guy, if I didn't mention that already before. So the critics and audience ratings for Ready Player One are IMDb rated an 8 out of 10. On Rotten Tomatoes, the critics gave it a 74% on the tomato meter with an average rating of 6.9 out of 10. And audiences on Rotten Tomatoes gave it an 80% on the tomato meter with an average rating of 8 out of 10. And then the Metacritic score for this is 64. So as you can see, audience seemed to like it just a little bit more than the critics did. Alright guys, so my personal rating for Ready Player One is a thumb and a half up, which in my rating system is pretty good. It's not the best, but it's up there. It's the second highest thing I award a movie. And so I found this movie really entertaining, fun, a good thrilling roller coaster of a movie, an action adventure fantasy movie. It was an enjoyable story of an underdog against the ethicless corporation, which I'm always a big fan of. It was a little bit dull and predictable of a love story, which they overdid a little bit. There was good performances by the young actors, I thought. They weren't terrible. Their dialogue was a little meh, but for the most part it was pretty good. So that's why I give this a thumb and a half up. So that's what I call this. That's a thumb and a half. That's 1.5 thumbs. So what I enjoyed about Ready Player One, first was the amazing special effects and cinematic visuals. It it was just a beautifully shot and made movie. It had a seemingly perfect, or just maybe not perfect, but great CGI and special effects. I especially enjoyed the way it flowed from the effects from CGI to live action, and then live action back to CGI. I thought they did a really good job with that. Next thing I liked about this film was the story / the plot. It was the classic retelling of the classic knight's tale who's on a quest to accomplish a quest. But I really liked that they took a little interesting take on it, being in a virtual reality world, a new type of a thing. He's winning the company of this world. I thought it was just really interesting. I really enjoyed it. I thought the story flowed pretty well from one act to the next, minus a few like urches and stalls because of some bad dialogue / just awkwardness. But that's because I don't like love stories in a movie. But anyways, that's not the important part. That's in the what I disliked section. We're talking about what I liked. Last thing I liked, like I said before when I gave my personal rating for this, this was fun and entertaining. I just enjoyed my time in the theater watching this film. It reminded me a lot like when I went to see Justice League. It was just a fun thrill ride in the theater to just see this big visuals and special effects on this huge screen, and I just really enjoyed it. And I thought that's the stuff I enjoyed about this movie. So what I didn't like or didn't enjoy about Ready Player One, besides the love story stuff that I've already mentioned, that's just because I'm bitter. But the thing I didn't enjoy, this is the main thing. It's not a big deal, but it was just a little thing, because I gotta mention, can't just say only good things about a movie. Gotta give a little bit of the opposite side. But the one thing I didn't love or didn't enjoy about this movie was the minimal amount of screen time we spent with the other avatars in the Oasis. So meaning, besides the main characters, there was a lot of these other pop culture and Easter egg references all over the Oasis, and we got a lot of quick flashes and quick little glimpses of a lot of them, and we spent a little bit of time with certain ones, but I felt that we could have spent just a little bit more time, not a lot, but a little bit more time with a few of them. I would have liked to have seen I wanted to see more of the Batman, the Arkham Knight Batman guys, and stuff like that, but that's my own bias to it. It doesn't really affect the movie's overall quality, I think, but to me, that's just one thing I would have enjoyed a little bit more, exploring some more of these other avatars, or if they would just had some cooler main avatars, a little bit better references. I was never a big Iron Giant guy. Like, I would have rather seen Voltron or a big Power Ranger put together. But that was the one thing I didn't like about this movie. So my favorite part about Ready Player One were the action sequences, the different action and visual and special effect driven scenes, which was a lot of the film, I have to admit, but it was just such a spectacle to watch. It was really enjoyable, especially sitting in the cinema enjoying on the big screen. This film it was great. It was filmed in a way that, like, especially all these action sequences were filmed in a way that made you feel like you were one of the avatars in the Oasis. I felt like I was the backseat driver to this film. Okay guys, so my recommendation for Ready Player One is I would highly recommend this to most people. People who enjoy a good action adventure movie, one with a lot of spectacular visual effects and intriguing kind of plot. It's been done before, story plot, but it's still an interesting new take on it, and just an entertaining, fun movie. I would also add that you don't have to be a big pop culture buff to enjoy this film. You know, despite pop culture being a pretty big, integral part of the story's plot and setting, it's an entertaining and fun action adventure movie which you can enjoy even if you don't understand every reference. It's still fun and enjoyable. But that's my review for Ready Player One, guys. Let me know in the comments below what you guys thought of Ready Player One if you've seen it yet. Just let me know your thoughts in general. If you guys want to check out more of our reviews that'll be coming up in the future, just be sure to subscribe to the channel below. There'll be a little icon somewhere that you can press. And if you also want to hear more of our thoughts on movies, TV, and pop culture stuff in general, I'm sure to subscribe to the Forgot to Grow Up podcast on iTunes, Spotify, or pretty much anywhere you find your podcasts. All right, and thanks for watching today, guys. Hope you have a good one.